One city will conquer the known world, and then destroy itself. From a she-wolf's den to an empire of 60 million souls. Kings will fall, brothers will murder brothers, a senate soaked in blood. One man will become a god, another will burn Rome to the ground. Legions will march farther than any army in history, while enemies within sharpen their knives. For 1,000 years, they ruled the world. This is how it began, and this is how it all fell apart. Long before it ruled the world, Rome was nothing but 7 empty hills beside a quiet river. Legend says 2 abandoned brothers were raised by a wolf, destined to build something the world had never seen. But even in its founding myth, Rome was born from betrayal, as brother turned against brother for the crown. Romulus killed Remus that day and named the city after himself, a warning of the bloodshed still to come. From that single act of violence, a small settlement began rising along the riverbanks, humble, fragile, and utterly determined. For centuries, kings ruled Rome with absolute power until their cruelty pushed the people past their breaking point. The last king was overthrown in a violent uprising, and Rome swore never again to bow before a single ruler. In its place rose the Republic, a government of elected leaders, checks, and laws meant to prevent another tyrant. With a new government came a new ambition, and Rome's small army began marching far beyond its own borders. Across the sea, a rival power grew wealthy and strong, a city called Carthage, and war became inevitable. A brilliant general named Hannibal marched elephants across the Alps, bringing terror to the heart of Roman territory. Rome suffered devastating losses, entire armies wiped out in a single afternoon. Yet still, it refused to surrender. Decades later, Rome struck back with unrelenting fury, and Carthage was burned to ash and salted earth. With its greatest rival destroyed, Rome stood unchallenged, and its hunger for conquest only grew stronger and darker. Legions marched into Spain, Greece, and North Africa, stitching together an empire built on steel and ambition. But success brought new dangers, as ambitious men inside Rome began fighting bitterly for power and influence. One general, brilliant and ruthless, stood at the edge of a river that would decide the Republic's fate. Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon, defying the Senate itself, and plunged Rome into a brutal civil war. Roman legions turned against each other, brother fighting brother once again, as the Republic tore itself apart. Caesar emerged victorious, more powerful than any Roman before him, feared and worshipped in equal measure. But absolute power bred deadly jealousy, and even his closest allies began plotting in the shadows against him. On the Ides of March, Julius Caesar was stabbed to death by the very senators he once trusted. His death did not restore the Republic. It only ignited a new and even bloodier struggle for power. From the ashes of civil war, Caesar's adopted heir rose quietly, patient and calculating, waiting for his moment. Octavian defeated his last rivals in a decisive battle and became the sole ruler of the entire Roman world. He took the name Augustus and quietly transformed the Republic forever into something entirely new, an empire. For the first time in generations, Rome knew true peace, and a golden age of prosperity slowly began. Great monuments rose across the empire, roads, aqueducts, and temples, built to last for thousands of years. Culture flourished alongside conquest, as art, law, and entertainment became the pride of every Roman citizen. At its height, Rome's borders stretched across 3 continents, ruling over 60 million people under one banner. But absolute power always tempts corruption, and future emperors would soon abuse the empire built before them. Emperor Nero watched as fire consumed the city, blamed by many for the destruction of his own capital. Madness and cruelty spread through the palace walls as paranoid emperors executed friends, family, and loyal soldiers alike. Beyond the borders, fierce tribes resisted conquest fiercely, and entire Roman legions vanished in a hostile, unforgiving forests. Still, For nearly 2 centuries, peace and prosperity endured, a golden era future generations would call remarkable. But no empire lasts forever, and cracks were quietly beginning to spread beneath Rome's glorious golden surface. In just 50 chaotic years, over 20 different emperors seized power, most murdered before ever truly ruling. Economic collapse, plague, and constant invasion pushed the empire toward the edge of complete, total collapse. One emperor tried to save Rome by splitting it in two, an empire too vast for one man to rule. A Western empire remained centered on Rome, while a new eastern capital rose in distant Constantinople. Constantine changed Rome forever, embracing Christianity and reshaping the empire's identity for centuries yet to come. But beyond the frozen borders, restless tribes gathered in growing numbers, pressing harder against Rome's weakening frontier. Rome's once unstoppable legions grew thin, exhausted, and outnumbered, struggling to defend borders stretched far too wide. Corruption drained the treasury, taxes crushed the people, and trust in the empire slowly began to vanish. City after city fell to invasion, and terrified citizens fled westward, searching desperately for safety and shelter. In 410, the unthinkable happened. Rome itself was sacked, a city untouched by enemies for 8 centuries. The psychological blow was catastrophic, proof that even eternal Rome could bleed, burn, and ultimately fall. The Western throne passed to weak, powerless rulers, mere figureheads controlled by foreign generals and shifting alliances. In 476, a Germanic general deposed the last Western emperor and simply chose not to replace him. Just like that, after 1,000 years of glory, the Western Roman Empire quietly ceased to exist. The city that once ruled the known world now stood silent, its streets echoing only with memory. Yet far to the east, Rome's legacy endured as Constantinople carried the empire's spirit for another 1,000 years. Roman law, language, and architecture quietly spread across future civilizations, shaping the modern world without them knowing. Modern governments still echo Roman ideas, republics, senates, and laws built on foundations laid centuries ago. Today, the ruins still stand, weathered but unbroken, silent witnesses to humanity's greatest rise and fall. Every coin, every broken statue tells a story of ambition, power, glory, and eventual, inevitable collapse. Empires rise through courage and ambition, but they fall through corruption, division, and unchecked, arrogant power. Rome's story is not just history. It is a warning echoing across every civilization that follows it. From a she-wolf's den to the ruins of an empire, Rome's legacy still shapes the world today. This was the rise, the glory, and the fall of the greatest empire the world had ever known.